Hello again, my name is David Watts from Lenovo Press, and I have with me Rob Callaghan. We're going to be talking today about eXFlash DIMMs. How you doing, Rob?
Fantastic.
So, eXFlash DIMMs, tell me about them, and why would a customer want to use them?
I actually happen to have one right here. eXFlash DIMM is Lenovo's highest performance storage that they offer. It's scalable, meaning you can put up to 32 in your servers. That gives you 12.8 terabytes of extremely fast storage. And it's very low latency, down to 5 microsecond write latency.
How does such performance relate to customer workloads?
Yeah, in the business world, key applications, time is money. And being able to get things done faster, be able to get better response time is critical. And so by having that 5 microsecond latency, things like high frequency trading, where latency is what allows you to make a decision faster than your competitors, databases, things like that where you need performance, this is the product for you.
All right, so now what sort of systems do these eXFlash DIMMs work in?
Well, this is your highest performance storage offering. So as a matter of fact, it goes with your highest performance servers, whether it be your mission critical Lenovo System X 8-socket or your 4 or your 2-socket servers. And now it's available with your high performance mission critical flex servers offerings.
What about performance? I mean, that's a key factor in choosing these.
I could talk about performance, but you actually have, in the lab we're standing in right now, an expert, Truth Brown, who wrote a great white paper, and I suggest you go talk to him.
All right, I'll go and talk to him. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So we have Truth Brown here. Truth's one of the engineers here in the Performance Lab. How you doing, Truth?
Good, how are you, David?
So Truth worked on the performance paper on the eXFlash DIMMs. So what was one of your early findings on the paper?
So one of my early findings was how much performance in the bandwidth arena, or better known as throughput, that these devices could exhibit irrespective of workload or queue depth. So I was really like, wow, this thing is going to be something good.
Yeah, okay. So really high throughput. Now, what are the other key metrics though? Latency and IOPS. What about for customers looking for performance there?
It's good that you ask about that. First of all, you have to understand that IOPS and latency are really application and workload dependent. So that's the first thing you have to kind of internalize. But after that, what I did notice with these devices that it had the ability to really do both. In some workloads, you have really low latency, in like as low as 5 microseconds. And in other workloads, you can have as high IOPS as 140,000. And that is for a single device.
Okay, now these eXFlash DIMMs, you can have up to 32 of them in the server.
That is
so
correct.
Tell me about scalability.
So scalability is, like you said, up to 32, which is roughly, not roughly, it's actually 12.8 terabytes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Check my math, though. Which is really interesting because as you scale, traditionally when you scale devices, you tend to lose performance in an area. But with these specific devices, you actually, one, keep your latency very low. So let's say, for instance, you have one and latency is 8 or 9 microseconds for a certain application. If you put 8 in that machine, and then the application uses those 8, the latency will remain the same. But the benefit is you will actually get 8x performance. So if you have 100,000 IOPS for one, you get 800,000 for 8. Right. And that is really, really interesting because it's like, wow, I can get a lot of storage, a lot of performance by not actually sacrificing the latency or the throughput, because the throughput also scales as well. Right,
okay, very good. So then, what would you say would be a key takeaway from your analysis of the performance?
I think my number one takeaway is versatility. Because one thing I saw very good performance in areas of latency, IOPS, and throughput. And it really just depended on how you had it configured and what your workload and what your application required. But the interesting thing is, so if you know, for varying workloads and for varying situations, they still can give you performance if you set them up properly.
Right, very good. All right, well there you have it. So if you're looking for more information about the performance characteristics of the eXFlash DIMMs, Truth's written a really good paper on it, and I'll give you the link for that in the description of the video. So I hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you later. Bye.